Today, we are walking through the dramatic and pretty tragic plot of a classic American short story, Kate Chopin's Desiree's Baby. We're just going to focus on the events as they happen, what goes down, and the twists along the way. So, let's just dive right into this story. It's set in Louisiana way back before the Civil War, and it really hinges on this one powerful question. What happens when this picture-perfect life is built on a foundation that's a total mystery? Okay, so Act 1, A Foundling's Fortunate Life. This is where we meet our main character, Desiree. And right from the get-go, her life is a puzzle. As a toddler, she's just found. Like found sleeping by a stone pillar on this wealthy estate that belongs to the Valmont family. Now, the Valmonts are childless. They see this little girl as a literal gift from Providence, and they adopt her. They raise her with all the love in the world, and she grows up to be beautiful, gentle, just adored. Then when she turns 18, her life gets turned upside down. She catches the eye of Armand Aubigny, who's the master of the plantation next door. And when he sees her, it's not just a crush. It's like he's been struck by lightning. He falls for her hard and fast. And for him, the fact that nobody knows where she came from, it doesn't matter one bit. Her adoptive father tries to pump the brakes, reminding Armand, hey, we don't know anything about our family. But Armand, he just brushes it off. His whole attitude is, what does her name matter when he can give her his name, which happens to be one of the oldest and proudest in all of Louisiana. So just like that, they get married. Desiree leaves the happy home she's always known and moves to Armand's plantation, which is called La Brie. And wow, what a contrast. The story tells us it's the saddest looking place, all dark and shadowed. And we also find out that Armand has a reputation for being an incredibly harsh master to the enslaved people on his plantation. That brings us to the next chapter of their lives, the birth of their son. And for a little while, it seems like this moment brings some real joy into this otherwise gloomy home. Because when Desiree gives birth to a little boy, it completely transforms Armand. I mean, this severe tough guy, he just melts. He becomes this incredibly proud, doting father. And Desiree is just over the moon. She tells her mother she's so happy it actually scares her. She talks about how much Armand has softened, how he's so proud of his son that he stopped his cruel punishments of the enslaved workers. For this one brief shining moment, it seems like they have it all. It's a happiness that almost feels, well, too good to be true. And well, it turns out it was. This is where the story pivots and things get really dark really fast. About 3 months go by, and this strange, awful change comes over Armand. He suddenly becomes cold. He starts avoiding Desiree and their son. And that old cruelty of his, it comes roaring back even worse than before. Desiree is completely heartbroken and has absolutely no idea what she's done wrong. One afternoon, she finds out why. She's watching her baby, and one of the enslaved children, a boy of mixed race heritage, is fanning him. And she looks from her son to the other boy, and then back at her son. And in that one moment, it hits her. A horrifying realization. She goes straight to Armand, totally panicked. She grabs his arm and just begs him, look at our child. What does this mean? Tell me. And Armand's response is just devastatingly cold. He tells her, it means that the child is not white. It means that you are not white. In his mind, it's simple. The child's appearance can only be explained by one thing. Desiree, the woman with the unknown past, must have African ancestry. And with that one accusation, Desiree's entire world just crumbles. This kicks off the story's final tragic act. She does the only thing she can think to do. She writes this desperate, heartbreaking letter to her adopted mother, just pleading with her to tell her it's not true. Her mother's reply comes back fast, and it's full of love. It says, Come home back to your mother who loves you. But, and this is the key part, it never says, no, what Armand is saying isn't true. It offers her a safe haven, but not the denial she needs. She shows this letter to Armand, probably as a last-ditch effort, and asks him if he wants her to go, and his response is just ice. Yes, he says, I want you to go. He feels like she has damaged his family's name, and his love for her is completely gone. So what does she do? Absolutely shattered, she takes her baby, but she doesn't go down the road toward home, toward her mother. Instead, she walks out across a field and just disappears with her child into the swampy bayou, and the story just says she did not come back again. Now, you might think that's the end, but it's not. There is one last scene weeks later that delivers the final shocking twist. A twist that reframes everything you've just heard. Armand, feeling like his name has been cleansed, decides he wants to erase any trace of Desiree and their son. He builds this huge bonfire and has his servants burn everything. The baby's cradle, all of their expensive clothes, even the little bundle of love letters Desiree had written to him. But while he's gathering up her letters, he finds another one tucked away in the back of a drawer. This one isn't from Desiree. It's an old crumbling piece of paper. It's a letter from his own mother, who had died when he was a boy, to his father, and he reads it. And near the end of the letter, his mother writes that she thanks God that our dear Armand will never know that his mother belongs to the race that is cursed with the brand of slavery. That's right. The secret wasn't Desiree's. It was his. It was Armand's own mother who was of African descent. The heritage that he despised so much, it was his own all along. And with that one sentence, the whole story just flips on its head. Every single thing he did, every cruel word he said, is suddenly seen in a new light. We realize the entire tragedy wasn't caused by Desiree's mystery past, but by Armand's own hidden truth and the awful prejudice of the time. It's this absolutely devastating irony. A man destroyed his own family out of a hatred for a part of himself he never even knew existed.